on this historic day as we celebrate the career of Beth Launiere, incredible career, and also introduce Alyssa D'Errico. We'll hear today from Director of Athletics Mark Harlan, along with Beth and Alyssa, and we'll have time for media Q&A as well. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Mark Harlan.
Thank you, Paul, and what a great turnout. Good to see so many of our staffers and players of our volleyball team. I saw our women's basketball team and coaching staff just flood in here. I know there are some alums here. Raise your hand if you're an alum. Hello, guys. Thank you. I'm sure you'll have something to say about all of them. This is one of those cliche bittersweet moments. It's bitter because this individual on my right has been a real special part of my life in the 8 years here at Utah. I think it was Corner Bakery. I couldn't remember that when we were talking yesterday, when we first sat down and you had your Beth list. I remember it, and I said, oh boy, I'm in trouble. This is the first coach that actually truly has a list. And I was so impressed when we talked, and of course I had studied you, and I, very close with Dave Rubio, who's one of your good friends, and the former head coach at Arizona. I remember he called me after I got the job at Utah. You're gonna love Beth. She's the best. And so it was such an honor, and then to work with you through these 8 years, which is just a sliver of your time here, by the way. Normally that's not exactly the case, and to watch you grow even what you already had grown so much. And you had attacked the Pac-12 with everything, and you were really climbing up the chart with everything. And so I just want to say, before I get into some unbelievable remarks that I prepared here, just what a great partner you are to me, but to this department, and I'll close on that in just a minute. But let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to 1980, 4 years before the LA Olympics. 1980, just let that sink in a little bit. Keith is shaking his head back there. 1980, you were, I saw you. Utah was 1-13 in volleyball, and they went out to search for, 1-32. And
I'm gonna say,
yeah.
1990.
Well, why does it say 80 here? Oh, because I don't have my glasses.
Don't age me that much.
I was gonna say 1980, 1990.
I was still in high school, by the way.
I'll tell you what was true in 1990. You were 1-32 before you got here.
1989.
89. So she decided to come to Utah and try to fix that. In 36 years, rebounding from that start that you had to recover from the previous year, you've taken us to 20 NCAA championships. 20 NCAA championships. I went to Arizona. My math isn't great, but I believe that's over half the years you coached. See, I'm okay. 4 Sweet 16s, which is just remarkable, just recently, of course, and numerous academic and athletic All-Americans and numerous All-Pac-12 performers and even all Big 12 performers. Just incredible talent that you've surrounded yourself with. And we know that the competitive success is known because everyone in the public knows that. But I'd like to think it's everything else that she's done. She's been a trailblazer for volleyball. She is, if you're at one of these events, the young coaches and everybody she's the magnet that everyone wants to come to because she's been a part of the growth of the sport and has been a key reason for the growth of this sport. But beyond volleyball, women's sports in general. Right? What Beth did when she came here and what she did complementing and growing this gymnastics that was going on, this is the epicenter of women's sports in so many different ways. And Beth will forever be grateful for your leadership in all sports and in leadership just in our head coaches meetings, questions, thoughts, things that are really important well beyond volleyball. How everyone is treated in this program, particularly women. She's she's obviously done a legacy that will go well beyond anything that we can really imagine. One of my favorite things about Beth is whenever we introduce her before the start of the match, and it's really serious. Girls are getting ready. It's the final warm-up, and the PA announcer said, in her 36th year, and you always get that little smirk in your face. Like, just a smirk, thought she'd be here for a couple years. The fans go wild, and whenever I'm at the game, we always try to catch eyes and we smile. So I just want to thank you on behalf of not only the athletic department, this entire university, this entire town, this entire state, and on behalf of the sport of volleyball. Thank you for everything you gave, because you did give us everything. Thank you, Coach.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank all the people that put this event together. This is a big deal for the sport of volleyball to have a press conference like this, and I know how much work it takes to put into it. You know, sports information, the creative department that did a wonderful job on all of the material, facilities. You people don't go unnoticed, and so I want to start with you guys. And the media that's here today, thank you for acknowledging Utah Volleyball as important enough to be here and share this with us. To the leadership of the university and the athletic department, President Randall, Mark, Charmel, and Jason, you guys have done nothing except make athletics, and especially Utah Volleyball, feel like a priority, and you've supported us at the highest level. So thank you. Thank you to the current players that are here. This is when I start crying. This year's team, thank you for the ride that we went on in the last month. Cheer for that. I truly love this team this year. As people, as individuals, I'm proud of their perseverance. We had a rough spot in the middle of the year, and to see what this group did this season and all they learned from the experience, I'm really proud of them. And to be honest, I can be completely happy retiring after a reverse sweep on BYU in front of 6,000 fans. To my staff, Alyssa, I'll cry later for you. Will, Andrew, Jamie, Whitney, Lindsay, Carly, all of our volleyball performance team and support staff. Thank you. It's the hardest working group I've ever worked with, and it's been an honor to finish my career with all of you. Thank you to the alumni that are here, and to all of them that I've coached. At last count, it's 198, which is pretty cool. And those before me. There's 3 OGs here, 3 originals from my first team, 1990. Linda Byington. She was my first ever recruit. Drove up to Rick's College in a snowstorm and convinced her to come here, and I have no idea why you chose that. But thank you and also my assistant for 5 years, and thank you for being a part of growing this program. Debbie Allen Gibby is in the back. And Denise Rathman Jordan, both of them are right there. As Mark had mentioned, we were 1-32 the year before I got here. And we only had 9 players in the first year. I don't know why. There were not a lot of decisions to make, but we forged ahead, and this group really were the trailblazers of building this program, so thank you. I know there's other alumni here as well, so love you guys. I don't know if Chris Hill's made it, but I wanted to thank Chris for hiring me when I was 6 years old. Really appreciate it. He took a chance on a 26-year-old. He had just hired Ron McBride and Rick Majerus, so he was on a roll, kind of hiring long-tenured coaches that were successful. And then Fern Gardner, I would be remiss to not mention her. Players, it's who you know, it's how you get places. And I was at University of Illinois, and she was on the Division I committee with someone that I had interactions with, and asked, hey, do you know any young coaches that might want to come out to Utah and build a program? My name was recommended. did the interview with her. She was really a trailblazer in women's sports in the state of Utah. And at the end of my interview, and again, I was 26, and at the end of my interview, I was like, well, Fern, who else, if you don't mind me asking, like, who else are you interviewing? And she was 6 foot tall. She looked down at me, and she's like, nobody, so don't screw it up. So I looked up to her from that day on, and the rest is history, I suppose. But they had a vision for the program at the time. They didn't want a quick fix. They wanted it built foundationally. We started with 3 scholarships and a $1,000 recruiting budget. There's been a lot less recruiting trips. We won 7 matches our first year, 21, the second year, 15 the second year, 21, and then 25. I am proud of that. When we got our second win in 1990, everybody was so excited that we doubled our win total. And I said, we really need to raise our expectations of this program. I want to thank a few other people, some former a lot of former coaches that have been mentors to me. Illinois, Mike Hebert, Ferris State, Jill Hershinger, but one that was here when I got here, and that is Elaine Elliott. She was the women's basketball coach for a long time, and I had so much respect for her. And I don't know how many times I could tell you how many times I was down in her office crying when I was young and going, Elaine, I don't know what's going on. She's like, you're me fine, Beth, and helped me out just tremendously. And a long-tenured coach here, and her banner is going to be going up into the Huntsman Center on February 14th, which we're excited about. I want to thank the fans. Many of them have been with this program as long as I have, coming to every single match. They were here in Crimson Court, Huntsman Center. Our Block U Club, many of our Block U Club members have been here for 20 to 30, with me in the Block U Club for 20, 30 years. And then I would like to thank donors. There's many levels of donors that have helped this program. But I have 4 people specifically that have really made a difference, a significant difference in helping this program move to another level, and certainly helped me in the latter part of my career. And that's Lucy and Annie Osborne. And Leo and Harriet Huff. I told you I had a lot to say.
I love it.
All right, I'm swiping. So this gym used to be called Hyper East 101. Let that sink in. I think it still is, actually, officially. This is where we played in 1990, but we didn't play in the whole gym. We played in half the gym. We imagine a red curtain that went this way. We played on a court that went that way. There were about 10 rows of wood bleachers, and it said Lady Utes on the wall. So just by saying that, you can see how long I've been here. We created Crimson Court in 1994, put 1,500 bleachers in here. It was a great environment in its day. It was a great volleyball. There were so many big matches in here. You can imagine the cheerleaders in here, the band. I had to tell them, can you reduce the number of pieces in the band? It's too loud. It's part of the problem part of my hearing problems today. But it was great. We had reserve seating, which was our season ticket holders' names laminated and taped to the bleachers. But we did it, and yeah, we hosted first and second round here. We beat Stanford here when they were ranked #1. There's a lot of history to Crimson Court that we're really proud of. Now we're playing in the Huntsman Center in front of 6,000 people. Who would have thought it would have gotten to this? Excuse me. I never dreamt of it. But just tried to keep my head down, year after year. This program is built on a lot of just blue-collar, hard work, $5,000 at a time, little increments. And that's how we got it to where it is today. playing on Terraflex. One of my donors didn't like that there was just tape being put down on the basketball court, so we got Terraflex. We created this practice facility, got the bleachers out of here. It's really one of the top in the country. 3 courts, lots of room, and we are trying to get Terraflex in here if anybody would like to donate. But we built this program from the ground up into what it is today. But I couldn't be more pleased and excited and proud to turn it over. Told you I was going to cry, Alyssa. To one of the best young coaches in the country and in our profession, Alyssa D'Errico. Just one more page, because this is all about Alyssa. Because I've told this story and many have heard it, but I think it's a significant part of your story, Alyssa. First of all, she has 12 years of coaching experience. She has worked hard to build her resume in this profession. But she was at University of Dayton when I was looking for my next assistant coach or associate head coach. And I called my peers, and time after time after time, Alyssa's name came up. And I knew who she was, but I didn't know her personally. But they all said, I don't think you can get her. Next person, oh, there's Alyssa D'Errico, but I don't think you can get her. There's Alyssa D'Errico, I don't think you can get her. So I was like, okay, well, challenge on now. And so I called Russ Rose, the great former coach at Penn State who coached Alyssa all 4 years to 4 national championships. And he said, she's great, but I don't think you can get her. And he goes, but I'll put a call into her. And he called me back and he said, she's interested in talking to you. And we got her out here. 3 years later, you're going to be named the head coach of the University of Utah. It's pretty cool. She is a dedicated student of the game. She's a fierce competitor. You do not win 4 national championships without the pedigree and the commitment and the dedication and the competitiveness that Alyssa D'Errico is going to bring to this program. She's a great coach. She's an even better person. She invests in her players in time and care. Time, she does more extra reps in this gym with the athletes than I've ever seen. We've got the passing academy, we've got the arm swing academy, we've got the ball control group, and this is all outside of our normal practice. But she invests in them, and she invests in the care of them as well. She checks in with them, she talks with them, she listens to them, she develops meaningful relationships. Alyssa isn't a transactional person. She is a transformational leader. And she is more than ready for this challenge. And again, I couldn't be happier to hand over the reins to this program to Alyssa D'Errico.
Beth, congratulations first off.
Thank you.
When you think back at this, I know it's tough to kind of look back on everything, but what would you want your legacy to be remembered as, or what would you want to be remembered as with all this?
I guess a little bit of my perseverance. The road wasn't always easy. And, you know, just, I guess anybody that can survive in this profession this long has to have a little bit of perseverance. I'm very, very proud of, you know, the student athletes that have come through here and now considered alumni, and keeping in touch with them and in the relationships that, you know, we still have to this day. And then I think just that we tried to do it the right way. You know, I'm as competitive as the next person, but it was never going to be at the expense of anything else. And we always tried to, you know, treat people well in this program and do things the right way.
Beth, again, congrats on an incredible career. What would you describe your motivation being in getting Utah to this point? Just what drove you over the years?
I'm not sure. That's a great question. Other than just the need to be successful, I guess. If you're going to do something, you might as well do it to the best you can. And I really did commit, everything I had into this program and gave a lot of my blood, sweat, and tears. And so I think I think just the pride in the program. I think, I got a job before the first time we got this program to the NCAA tournament, actually the first year after the NCAA tournament, and I was like, no, I want to sit here and reap the fruits of the labor for a little while. Well, then that kind of kept going on. We kept going to tournaments. So yeah, I think just the pride in building something special and then enjoying it.
How did you get to the point where you felt like retirement was the best decision and not continuing this on?
Well, a lot of people ask me if it's because of NIL, if it's because of rev shares, because of the transfer portal, and it's not because of any of that. I looked at that as a challenge. I leaned into it and and I think that was the best way to do it. If you're going to be a coach that fights that, you're not going to be successful. So really, more than anything, I think it just became time for me to spend my time in other places. It's time for me to take care of me, take care of my health. I've battled a lot through the years. Spend more time with my family. And so I could still be coaching this program, except my time is ready to be spent other places.
Beth, congratulations on a great career. If you could describe Alyssa in just one word for the Utah fans, what would you say it would be?
Competitive.
I'll continue. Is there one moment in this 36-year career that sticks out to you the most as something that is maybe more transformational or where you felt like maybe the program arrived, that kind of stuff?
That's a great question, and I think when I think of transformational, I think of the players, and oddly, I think of the hardships and the lessons learned. I think that's the transformational part of this program, is what players have learned through this experience, and I always took that very seriously to try to be a leader and a role model, and to guide them. And so I think, I don't know that I could come up with one, because there's so many, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Do we have any more questions from the media? All right, one more round of applause.
Well, I suppose when one amazing, I don't think chapter is the right phrase to use, but I'd like to think when one amazing book, the best book that anyone could possibly read or maybe even read again and again, another book has to be opened. And it was funny when Beth and I were having our conversations about, this year and what she wanted to do. I wanted to make sure we talked to Charmel and obviously Jason, but I was just kind of smiling, and I'm like, I know what you're going to want to do after you get through this is you're going to want to talk to me about, Alyssa. And I thought, I was just smiling because I wanted to talk to you about her. And it's just nice when two people can meet in that place. Beth has brought this program to a level that, banners would suggest, and everything else she did, that this is not a 1 in 32. take over. I don't want this to sound too pressure-filled, but I can assure you of this, that if we went to the open market, which we absolutely didn't need to do, there would be coaches all over the Power Four just killing Jason, killing me and Charmel. I mean, I can assure you of that, right? Unlike maybe, your situation when you came here in 1990. That reminds me, thank you, Keith. This time I'm going to pull out my glasses. I can see Charmel going, pull out your glasses. So what a great day to be gathered here to celebrate the next chapter, the next book in Utah volleyball history, the storied history. And it's really going to be fun. I think you heard a lot about Alyssa's accomplishments. And obviously, it was so fun to get her here a few years ago. I remember that. And I'm going to try to go get her. And I'm like, go do it. And you closed a lot of recruits, but boy, what an impact you've had since you've been here. You've been here, tremendous impact over these last 3 years, that strengthening the culture, which was already fantastic, bringing in excellence and helping coach out in so many different ways. We were right there in the conference and NCAA championship chase all the years you've been here. I mean, I sometimes look at this, and I just want this to resonate. I told something to the current team, but I know you heard this a little bit before. A 4-time conference champion at Penn State. A 4-time national champion. And I worked at UCLA, and I know when we used to talk about basketball stats, we go, what? Let's just think about how hard it is to win a championship. 4 times. And oh, by the way, academic All-American. All 4 years? It doesn't say that here. Do you want to admit it if it was 3 or 4? It was 4. Right, Mom? It was 4. She brings a pedigree of winning at the highest of levels, doing it the right way. She cares, builds genuine relationships, which you talked about. I could just see this with our current team in the last few years. I love the fact that, although arguably, maybe inarguably, the greatest all-time college volleyball player, she climbed the ladder. I love the way you talked about that. She climbed the ladder, and that's not an easy ladder in the profession of coaching. She wants the women of her program to be great student athletes on this court, in the classroom, and in the community, which matches up, of course, with our vibe here. She's lived and continues to be the examples of everything that she wants her student athletes to be. Your family's all here today. Thank you guys for all coming in. We had a surprise gift from Brianna, how neat is that? Although I heard you have a 5 o'clock flight, so we got to be careful. I'll speed it up. I'll speed it up. We don't want that. Dallas, thanks for being here as well. Appreciate you. Without further ado, and this is another historic moment, not just because we're changing coaches. An incredible thing happened in our volleyball program a couple years ago. A donor who is anonymous, but is in this room, so anybody, it could be anybody here, had this great idea of endowing the first ever head coach endowment in this program, right? It was a big moment for us. So now I get to introduce to you the Beth Launiere, newest head coach of the volleyball program, Alyssa D'Errico. Come on up.
Yeah, the name's on the back.
Both sides. Take it away. Take any seat and get out of the way.
This is crazy. Thank you so much for everybody being here. I tried to do this last night with Dallas at home. I made it through about the first 5 words, and I was like, wow, I'm not gonna make it through this. This is gonna be a challenge for me. But it's just because it's such a dream. I wanted to be a head coach for a long time, and I patiently waited for the right opportunity. And here it is, and I couldn't be more grateful for everybody putting this on, and Beth giving me the opportunity to come out here 3 years ago. I did not
expect that it would turn into this. There were no discussions of this on the front end. I remember having lunch with Leo at the football complex and talking about things that I could bring to the program and how I could help, bring me and do different things. And this is not where I expected that it would go, but I couldn't be more grateful. So I have some words. I will try to get through them, but thank you everybody for putting this on, and I couldn't be more grateful to be the next head coach here. So first I want to express my gratitude to Mark, Charmel, and Jason for this incredible opportunity. Thank you for trusting me to lead the program. And I shared a belief with you guys and a vision of what I think that this place could be, and I truly believe that it could be something special. I'm honored to represent the department, the university, and the community. I think we talk a lot with our players about connecting with the community. We do kids clinics and try to give back and show up for this place. And so I think that matters a lot, and we want the community to feel like they're connected to this program. I also want to take a moment to thank Beth. She built a strong foundation here, poured so much into this program. The standard has been set, the culture that she nurtured, the young women she impacted, including me, are a testament to her leadership. I'm grateful for the legacy that she leaves behind and excited to build on the foundation as we move the program forward. To the coaches and mentors who have guided me throughout my career, I know that there's a bunch that are watching. They're all asking if it was going to be live streamed, which I think is awesome to have that connection still with your former coaches. But to the people that mentored me, every stop, every challenge, every lesson has shaped me into the coach and the person that I am today. I wouldn't be standing here without their support, without their honesty, and the example they set for how to lead with integrity. I also want to thank the volleyball staff, including our support staff, the ones that are staying, which is all of them. I'm so excited. I couldn't be more grateful for the humans that they are and how supportive they are. Their belief in the program, their willingness to buy in to the shared vision of what I believe that this place can be, the countless hours that they pour into making this place so special don't go unnoticed. The impact that they have on our student athletes. They know the daily heartbeat of what's going on in this program, and it's invaluable, and I couldn't be more grateful to continue the journey with them. And I know that our student athletes are excited about it too, because when I said that they were staying, they were all like, oh, thank God. So I couldn't be more grateful that I get to do this with the amazing people that are by my side. As we look ahead, the vision for the program is clear. We're here to compete for championships. The one word that Beth chose is the one word that I would choose to describe myself as well. I am a competitor through and through, and I told the team there is no reason why this program cannot compete for Big 12 championships and runs in the NCAA tournament and compete for championships. We're here to develop high-character student athletes who strive for excellence on the court, in the classroom, and in the community, as Mark already shared. And we're here on a mission to pay it forward. This is a big one for me. I wouldn't be here without the people that did that for me. So we have to invest in the next generation of who's going to carry this forward. Sorry. The program will be built on toughness, on connection, on accountability, and the relentless pursuit of getting better every single day. To our players, this is also the part that I will struggle to get through. Thank you. I just spent the last 2 days meeting with every single one of them, had some of our assistants in those meetings, and I think that they are all bought in on what we want to do with this place. Thank you for your belief in where we're going, for your immediate buy-in to what it will take to get there, your energy and commitment, and your willingness to embrace this new era are what give me confidence that Utah will be taken to new heights. This is your program, not mine, your program. And I'm honored to walk alongside you guys as we chase something special. Finally, the hardest one, I want to thank my family. I did not expect my sister to be here. So that was a great surprise today. She has been my best friend through my whole life. So it's amazing to share a moment like this with you. My fiance's here, Dallas, who I am incredibly lucky to get to go home to every single day, and my mom and dad. Your unwavering support is the greatest gift. This profession asks a lot of us as coaches. We're not the only people that are going through it. Our families at home miss a ton of time when we travel to go recruiting every weekend, when we invite the team over for meals, and Dallas has to help me clean up afterwards. But they're truly invested in who all of our players are as people. My parents know all of our players by names. They watch every game. My aunt, my mom, my cousin, everybody, a group text blows up all the time, every time we play. And so they are my support system. They are my backbone, and I wouldn't be standing here without them with me every step of the way. I'm so grateful that you guys are in my corner always. I'm so excited for what lies ahead. The work starts now. The last 48 hours have been insane. Delaney, our compliance and sport person for our compliance, saw me this morning, and I had eye patches under my eyes, and I was on a phone call with another recruit, and she cracked up and she was like, "I saw those this morning. You probably haven't been sleeping that much." And I was like, "Nope, not really, but we're gonna get there. We're working through it." I'm so excited to get to work and try and continue on the legacy that Beth left, and continue to bring this program into new places and new heights. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And of course, as always, I have to finish this with Go Utes.
Alyssa, Beth talked about how difficult it was to get you here. When it came to deciding, what ultimately led you to Utah and considering them, and how has kind of your opinion changed since obviously being here?
Yeah, well, one, my opinion hasn't changed. That's why I came. I am an all-in person. If I don't believe in something, I'm probably not gonna do it, and Beth can attest to that. So when I came out here, I think a big part of it was Beth. I told her I really wanted to become a head coach. I knew that she had previous assistants that were head coaches that were successful. I wanted to be able to grow my network. I had not a ton of West Coast connections at all, and the irony of it, I wanted to coach in the Pac-12 because I had never been to a single Pac-12 campus. It was really, really rare. I had played a lot of Pac-12 schools, but never been to a campus. And so 6 months in, I get here and we leave the Pac-12. And I was like, all right, I guess I get one season of checking out all of these places. But my network of expanding and learning about the West Coast was a really big piece of this for me. And when I stepped on campus, again, I am an all-in person. When I was touring and walking around and learning about what this program was about and what the university was about, I was like, I'm sold. I think I talked about it with my interview with Bill. I think it has the trifecta of a great college campus that students can come to, and it's developing more and more and more. You can have that feel of I'm on a great campus. You have the highlights of downtown to go do things and have a great student-athlete experience of I can go to NBA games and concerts and great restaurants and do a lot of things in Salt Lake City. And then you have the mountains. And I still look around and I'm like, I can't believe I live where people vacation. I take pictures. The first week I was on the job, I probably was the most unsafe driver in the state of Utah because I was taking pictures out my rearview mirror, out the window, like just looking around like I can't believe I live here, especially because I had come out here to vacation. I snowboard and I love adventuring in the mountains, and so for me, I was sold. When I walked through campus, I heard Beth talk about this place and met the support staff, met the people, and then kind of understood, okay, what is so special about this place and how can I sell it to recruits and get them to buy in that this is a place for them to come experience their 4 years that they get of college.
Obviously, you'll get your chance to put your stamp on the program and kind of do it the way that you want to, but is there anything in particular that Beth taught you that you feel like you want to carry forward through?
How long do you have? Yeah, a whole heck of a lot. I think the thing that I didn't understand that Beth taught me a lot, I can't look at her to answer this question right now, is how to manage people. I had never been a part of a program that had this many moving parts to it. We are very, very fortunate at the University of Utah within the volleyball program to have the amount of resources that we have, but with that comes a lot of responsibility for a head coach to make sure that they're all moving in alignment. And so I got to witness that firsthand. I got to be in all of those meetings. I got to be involved in how do you organize it? How do you make sure that your student athletes are, on the same page and understand what the plan is? But I think that's probably the biggest thing is just this is a business. It's a big business, and there's a lot of things that go into running a successful volleyball program. And I had never really seen how much behind the scenes of all of that goes into running a successful program. So that's probably the biggest thing I think for me of just how do you manage that many people, that many moving pieces, and make sure that everybody's bought in on the same vision, on the same goal, and in alignment moving towards one thing that they want to achieve.
With your past as a, Big Ten level athlete, how much does that help, with the team in terms of getting them to these goals? Yeah, it's challenging for me because I think part of what I prefer to do is I honestly like to separate my playing career from my coaching. I kind of get uncomfortable, and Beth knows this as well. I don't like talking about the national championships. It's what I did, it's not who I am now. But I think I can rely on it to put myself in our student athletes' shoes and relate to them when the pressure's the biggest and when they're on the biggest stage of how can you succeed in those moments and how can you really, elevate your game to be ready for those moments. But I try as much as I can to really lean into the coaching side and understand how can I learn from great coaches and get great mentorship from coaches that have been there and done that, because it is different to be on the court versus on the sideline in those moments. But I think the biggest piece for me is I can relate to the student athletes when we're in those tough moments and understand what they're going through and how to help kind of guide them through it.
We've heard about your competitiveness, but what would be your coaching style, and how does that change now as a head coach?
Doesn't change. The two things I talk about a lot with any coach that I ever meet, any person I ever meet, even with our athletes, the thing that I stand for the most is I want to be authentic and I want to be consistent. I think I show up every day and try and be who I am. And be consistent in how I show up. So that piece isn't going to change, which I think is great for our student athletes. They know me, they know who I am, they know how I function, and that's my goal, is to do that for them and show up and be me and be consistent. In terms of my coaching style, yeah, I'm competitive, but I also love teaching the game. I genuinely love teaching the game. I have 2 coaches for parents. My sister coaches. I literally was born and raised running around in a gym. And so those light bulb moments for me where kids learn is also part of the joy of why I love this. So I want them to be competitive and be fiery and get after it, but I also want them to know that I can help them learn how to play the game at a really, really high level.
Any more questions from the media? All right. Thanks, Alyssa.
Thank you.